Mr. Crump, please tell us why you believe that you are the best candidate for the job.
I believe, everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
I believe I'd be the best candidate for the job just based off of experience, qualifications. If you're looking for experienced leadership, I'd like to think that I present that based on the 4 years I served as a mayor of the city, 2 years I served as a city councilman in the city, as a plant manager in Orange, Texas of a large corporation. I've dealt with a lot of employees, a lot of budgets, dealt with large budgets, small budgets in my business. I've dealt with municipal budgets before, dealing with employees. Employees are one of your largest, and anyone that's a business owner knows that. That's typically your largest expenditure for your employees. Dealing with the problems that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. And what I'd like to think is working in the mayor's office, although it's a small city that I was the mayor of, it gave me a lot of networking experience. It gave me a lot of phone calls. It gave me a lot of names. And I created a pretty good network. I'd like to think that I have a good network of contacts out there from the county judge down. And being able to talk to these guys, knowing how to submit things, knowing how to submit proper paperwork, how to talk to TCEQ, how to talk to the EPA, how to talk to Army Corps of Engineers, how to deal with FEMA, how to deal with NFPA, all the different organizations involved in the county, from floods to drainage, to streets, to roads, to employees, to sheriff's department personnel, all the different things that are involved. I've dealt with it on a much smaller scale, but I still think it's created the experience that I would need to carry it right into the county level. That's why I think I'm the most experienced candidate and experienced for the job. Thank you.
Mr. Flanigan, please tell us why you believe you are the best candidate for the job.
I think that I'm the best candidate for the job due to my 27 years experience with road and bridge. I know a little bit about the drainage, the road work. The Commissioner's Court I've worked with a little bit through road work. And I just think that having the experience on the working part of it, and I also have a good rapport with people, working rapport, and I think that qualifies me for this job because I know the ins and outs. I know where the low-lying areas are. I know where the drainage problems that we have, and I see this every day. I see what's not being done as far as some of the drainage work. The road work is what I do every day. So I can't say that that's not being taken care of because that's what I do. So the drainage is our biggest thing that I work on. So I think this qualifies me for the job.
Thank you. Mr. Flanigan, if you are elected commissioner, do you promise to use your influence to provide a Texas flag for our community center? And I will tell you, that's my question. I'm proud of Texas, and we need a Texas flag in this community center.
Yes, ma'am, I would. That would be one of the things that I would take care of.
Thank you. Mr. Crump, if you were elected commissioner, do you promise to use your influence to provide a Texas flag for our community center?
Yes, ma'am, that's a simple question. That's a simple answer. It's something that needs to be taken care of, and if I have to buy it out of my own pocket, I'll take care of that. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Crump, what changes would you like to see made?
That's the entire question.
That's the entire question.
Very generically placed question, but I guess I'll answer that as best I can. The changes I'd like to see made, your taxes on your home, your ad valorem taxes have climbed. There's no reprieve in sight from what I see. I'd like to make sure that that's addressed. I would like to take your ad valorem, your home payment, your home taxes, your property taxes, all those ad valorem taxes, lower that tax rate. When the county does the analysis and comes back and tells you that your effective tax rate for the year to generate the same income that you did last year is 51 cents, and the county still takes it to 54 cents, I have a problem with that. I don't like that. I'd like to address and look at very closely. There's some target areas at the county on the expenditure level that I'm concerned about. The county spends a lot of money. The Commissioners Court approves roughly $400,000 every Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's their expenditure rate. That's every Monday, $400,000. I would like to take a good, hard look at where all that money's going. If we're spending $47 million in a year, I want to know where it's going. I want to know because I'm elected to represent you. Government's been turned around. It's time that the government's restored back to what it should be. We work, as elected officials, we work for the people, for the constituents. I would like to change that. I would like to look into those things. I would like to be able to come back and tell you, yes, I've questioned some things, I've looked at some things, although I might not agree with it, your tax dollars are being spent the best way they can be spent. I might not be able to tell you that, but we can look at some hard questions, ask some hard questions, and find out where they're going. That's some of the changes I'd like to try to make. Thank you.
Mr. Flanigan, what changes would you like to see made?
As Jody was saying earlier, and some of the talks that he was making there as far as the budgets, I mean, and the taxes on the houses and things, that would be mine as well. I don't agree with the taxes keep going up. I can say I know it firsthand because I just built a house and my taxes jumped up tremendously. And for just what little bit we added to our house, they went up more than I really thought they would. And I don't think it's right. But hopefully we can make changes in that area. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, yes, we can, because I really don't know if we can or not. But I would love to see those taxes go down. And if there would be any way in having those taxes drop without hindering the workers that we have presently right now, or taking away from our construction, then I would be all for it. But at this time, that would be some of my changes.
Okay, Mr. Flanigan, and this is a long one, so I'm going to speak slowly because I'm reading, I've got the words in front of me and it's complicated. As Commissioner, there will perhaps be some formidable challenges due to economic constraints. You will have great responsibility for relevant affairs of the county and its citizens. What would be your strongest and weakest attributes in the fulfillment of this office with this in mind?
Well, for starters, I'm not going to sit up here and try to be somebody that I'm really not. I'm not going to pretend. I'm just a down-home country boy, and some of these questions may be a little more than I can really do a lot, answer up. But I'm going to do my best for what we can. And again, I'd like you to read that question one more time, please.
Absolutely. It's a long question. As Commissioner, there will perhaps be some formidable challenges due to economic constraints. You will have great responsibility for relevant affairs of the county and its citizens. What would be your strongest and weakest attributes in the fulfillment of this office with this in mind? I think what they're asking is, with the economy like it is, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Does that sound like is that like what you heard? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one that Robin understands. That's going to be a difficult one for me. Like I said, I'm not going to stand up here and pretend that I'm somebody that I'm not. Can I pass on that one and come back to it?
Certainly, I don't see why you could not.
Is that okay with y'all?
Absolutely. Okay. Do you want my condensed version or do you want the action version?
I'm good, thank you. Twice already. I'm too good. I think the question actually revolves around the economic constraints and what would be my pluses and what would be my negatives. in that situation. The economic constraints, they're there. Everyone knows in this room, everyone knows your paychecks aren't getting a lot bigger, your bills are getting higher, your disposable income, what they refer to as disposable income, is getting shorter and shorter every day, smaller and smaller every day. What I would bring to the table was I would bring the business experience, corporate experience, municipal experience, all those different experiences. I'd bring those to the table to be able to look into those questions, look into those answers, to find out what's out there, find out what the M&O is, find out what the IS is at the county level, the maintenance and operations of interest and sinking debt, what the county has, what they actually have out there. What's your interest? What's your sinking debt? How much do you owe? What's out there that you're contractually obligated to? The sheriff's department is contractually obligated to certain things. There's certain things that you can't have, that you can't change. Contractual obligations are set in stone. But those that aren't set in stone yet, those things can be looked at. Your M&O, your maintenance, your operations costs, those different things can be looked at. They can be questioned. In this year's budget system, when they set up this year to go through the budget, one of the things that I didn't like, that they didn't do at the county level, they didn't go line by line or department by department. They did not this year. That I didn't like. I think that has to be done. It's not an easy thing to do, but you know what? We're not elected to do all the easy things. We're elected to represent the people of Orange County. That's our job. We have to go in there. We have to ask the hard questions. We have to wonder why someone's doing this. Why is this department doing this? That's hard questions that no one wants to ask, and it's hard questions that really no one wants to answer, be involved with. But at a county level, at a $47 million budget out there, you're still going to run out of money. That's what's happening. We were at a $2.2 million deficit this year when the budget system started. We don't want to be that next year. We're going to be there.
Would you like to come back to the question now?
Yeah.
Good.
As Jody was saying about the budget, that is my weakness, is a budget. Because for 27 years, all I've done out here is work. And you people that know me know that's all I do, is work for Orange County. That's my life for 27 years. So I'm telling you that I don't know all the budget. I'm not going to lie about it. I don't know it. So it's going to be new to me. But nobody knows what goes on in that courtroom until they get in that seat. So I will do the best I can for the people here at Precinct 4. That is my intentions.
Thank you.